I just liked being funny. I just liked clowning around, whatever that entailed. And I felt like I naturally made people laugh. Sounds like quite a conceited thing to say, but I did. So the first time I did stand up that I actually wrote was at the Comedy Store, sold out, with one of the biggest comedians in the country, sort of emceeing the night. I guess it was like X Factor for stand-up comedians, hosted by Jimmy Carr. And I just sent an email saying I've never done it before, but I'd like to do it. And they said, we'll come down on this particular day and do an audition. And I went down with no material, hungover from my mate's wedding. So I hadn't planned anything. It was ridiculous. So the fact that they then asked me to come back and like wait around, and they were going to pick 10 people to go into the final, where you did a gig at the Comedy Store, and then the winner of that got to support Jimmy Carr on his big like DVD filming show at the Bloomsbury Theatre. And I got down to the final 10. When it was good, it was really good. The delight when I was about to deliver a line that you go, well, these people don't know what I know that is about to make them laugh. And if you've got an audience where you felt like you could really control them and really manipulate them sounds like a horrible word, but it's not. You know, you could toy. There's a kind of a back and forth toying with these people who buy into who you are and what you want to talk about, and you know, and the character and the things that you've created, the lines that you've created, and the arc that you've created. It's great. And the third gig I did was a proper open mic, you know, room in a pub, in the middle of the pub, with just a mic stand in the corner with about 10 people. And then I realised, oh, this is different. Like, hopefully it's not all like this. Of course, 90% of comedy nights in the world are like that. I feel like if you're new, you were getting like one shot and that would be it. Also, like a lot of things, it's nepotism, you know. I thought it would be, if you're funny and the audience laugh, then you get a slot and you come back. It's a very easy way to judge it, but it's not. It's who will stick around and drink with the promoters, and you know, who will just turn up and be busy mates with people. That kind of like, oh, you know, it's cool, they can go on and do 10 minutes and get paid, because even though no one is laughing at all, because the promoter's mates with them and they're all chummed up. That's horrible in any artistic medium. But there are people who have made a better living than I ever made out of doing stand-up comedy, who are terrible hacks, terrible, easy joke telling hack fucks who just hang around like a bad smell and wouldn't go away, and have sort of bullied their way into a career in comedy, not because they're funny, but because they smile a lot and they're nice to an audience. There's an awful lot of landfill filler t-shirt swipey hair comedians who are just want to be famous. They just want to get their sitcom made. So I think I deserve better than them. Yeah, doing my solo show was horrible. It was really horrible. I've never felt so like it's just me, which I think if you are strong enough to be able to channel that into a positive thing, could work out. The psychology of it could work out really well for you. But because I was my producer at the time was my ex-girlfriend, who's a fucking horrible cunt. Please keep that in. And she was supposed to be producing me, but she spent all of her time getting drunk with the other show that she was producing, which was a three-hander anyway, and just went, I'll fly your gig every other day for 15 minutes before you go on, and just left me to get on with it. Yeah, that was bad. That was really horrible. Yeah, I don't find anything funny anymore. I don't find it literally hardly anything funny. Certainly not stand-up. I was watching some clips of like various different comedians the other day, and I didn't find any of it funny. I've only been to see one stand-up show, 2 stand-up shows in the last sort of year or so. I did Edinburgh in 2009 with my friend Mike Garnell, who's a really nice guy and could be a good comedian on his day. And I had like half an hour and he had half an hour, and we went up there, and I was doing more. I was doing another show with another comedian earlier in the day as well. I was going on trying to do other spots. You just got to like pimp yourself constantly. And I was doing, I was at the height of like really trying to push myself a lot. And I think I did something like 52 gigs in 21 days. Which isn't even a lot for some people. But on the last day of the entire run, it was a Saturday, and I woke up and Mike had left. He left me to go back to his girlfriend for his girlfriend's birthday without telling me. So I was in Edinburgh on my own going, well, I have to come up with an extra half an hour of material now, which I don't have. I'd never done an hour before. And I had to do a spot. It was kind of like the whole day. I had to do a spot early in the morning, because someone texted me and asked me to do it, and Stuart Lee had pulled out and I replaced him. So all these people turned up expecting Stuart Lee, and they got me, and they didn't know who I was and they didn't care. And then I did another spot somewhere else which was kind of fine, and then I had to do I think I did like 3, and they were getting progressively worse throughout the day. And then I had to go and MC a kind of really weird night underground in this place in Edinburgh in the middle of nowhere, and it was just awful. It was, I emceed this night with this heckly, horrible, miserable crowd, and somebody kept saying "you're off Hollyoaks" at me, and I wasn't. I've never been on Hollyoaks. And then I had to go and do my hour-long show, and my hour show that I'd never written before, performing for the first time, a load of strung together ideas that just didn't really work. And in the end, I ended up throwing the mic at an old Scottish woman and pushing the PA down the stairs, and that was the end. And then I gave up stand-up for a year.